Alright guys, me and Michael have been kicking around an idea about emergency feeding hives that are weak. I put dry sugar on the top. He goes through and works his hives and changes frames around to make sure everybody's balanced out. I do that in the fall. I don't do that on into winter. But we were kicking this idea around and I figured I'd give it a try. I'm not going to actually put this in a hive today because the sugar water I've got made up it's about 1.5, 2 to 1, and I really want a 3 to 1 sugar solution. But it's got a little bit of bleach, it's got apple cider vinegar, obviously it's got sugar, it's got a little bit of an essential oil mixture in it. That's it. But we were kicking the idea around of actually filling the cells of a frame and putting it in the hive, putting it right next to the cluster so they have food. Well, obviously this is going to be too runny and it needs to be as dry as possible. That's why I'm saying like 3 to 1, which turns out to be kind of like syrup. Everybody probably knows what Karo syrup is, and if you're any kind of syrup, real thick, it's not going to run, and the bees would be able to use it and not have to worry about creating all that extra moisture in the hive. That's what we're kind of worried about, is creating extra moisture. But, and being a beekeeper on the cheap, I've got this little condiment bottle that I bought a 2-pack for like $1.98 when my $8 little glue bottle, the spout is broke, so it finally gave up the ghost. So I went and bought 2 of these for $1.98 and use them to do my glue, and I actually like them better than that. But all we were talking about doing was just sitting here, just spending your time going down these frames. Of course, you're going to have to do it slowly, give it time to run down in there, but just basically sit here and do this till it runs down in the cells. You can run it that way, you can do it across this way. I guess you could get one with a smaller tip and sit here and fill individual cells, but obviously this is not going to be something you're going to do for, like me, 150 colonies. But if you got that one hive that, and you're a purist, because some people do not believe, or do believe in, you don't swap combs from hive to hive because you can spread disease. I understand that, but you're in your own apiary. And if you are a quality beekeeper, you should know by looking at your combs if you've got massive infections of anything, European foul brood, sac brood, chalk brood. You should be able to look at your bees and see if you got deformed wing virus. And there are viruses that you're not going to be able to see just by looking at them. You know, Lake Sinai 2 family of viruses are not, SS1 bacteria is not going to be readily available to see, but it's going to take a minute or two to do this, but like I said, if you got that one hive, that one queen, for those of us that are queen breeders, you might have that one queen, because I've got the video on the channel that where I let a breeder queen starve. I assumed because she sucked all summer. She never actually laid out a full 5-frame deep nuke. Never. She only had 2.5 frames max of brood. And I put her to bed with a complete 2 boxes of honey on top of her. Did not put a sugar shim on her. And the thing that I should have noticed, or should have paid attention to, I noticed it, was when there should have been a lull in brood, a lull in bees in December and January, when the foraging should be slow, they were massively flying, and I didn't have enough sense to go out and check them. And then all of a sudden, after a 3 or 4 day cold spell where nobody flew, there was no activity at all. Went down there, cracked the lid open, and there was nothing but dead bees. They had ate every bit of the 2 supers of honey. I had a box and a half, I think it was, of brood, cap brood, open brood. For some crazy reason, this Carnica queen went bonkers during the winter when she should have been conserving her fuel, and just laid like crazy all winter long. If you're doing deeps, this is going to take more than my little squeeze bottle, and you can't take and pour it, even doing me talking and not paying too much attention to what I'm doing. I'm filling them, overfilling them, and getting air in the cells, so that's going to be a problem. You have to really take your time. But I'm just going to set this out and let the bees rob it out. And for those of you saying, oh, you're going to be putting it in that frame, and yeah, there could be American foul brood spores in it. Don't think so. Could be bacteria in it, you'll say. No, these have been sprayed with a bleach solution and then a hydrogen peroxide solution. Just for this little video, because I just wanted to see how it would work. Figured I'd do a little video, but that's it. Check out Woolly Bees Apiary and Honeybee Farm, and let's give you the Renaissance Beekeeper and Sustainable Beekeeping Facebook group. Have a great one. Thanks for watching. If you guys got any ideas, drop them down there in the comments, because, you know, I'm not the smartest guy in the world all the time. This may be a bad idea. I know they've got to put enzymes and stuff with it, but, you know, the bleach is in there to help keep it from molding and turning south. I may experiment with one colony this winter and see what happens. Have a good one.